And zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, my oh my. It's a wonderful day. Happy Tuesday, 3rd day of March, 2020. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, and it's down the road we go. Lots to touch on today. Kind of a breezy forecast for the valley today. Windy for tomorrow. Watch out for our friends at Moses Lake. Getting a little concerned about maybe some blowing dust out in the Columbia Basin. They haven't had any kind of significant precipitation in the last month or so, and then this wind picks up. It could make things a little, I don't know, dusty in the Columbia Basin area and some blowing tumbleweeds in the East Wenatchee area. Forecast details are coming up. Quite a bit of news to get to. Sports. Eric Grandstrom is putting together a nice little profile on the Cashmere girls basketball team and their quest for their first ever state championship. It's called The Quest for the Gold Ball. And you'll see part one of that when we get to sports. We also have everything you're used to. Mike McKnight's got an opinion coming your way. We have some celebrity birthdays. We got today in history. We have an obscure holiday. And at the back half of the hour, it opens tomorrow night at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. It's the Wenatchee High School Dramas Department presentation of The Diary of Anne Frank. It's a great play. Ainsley Shearer plays the lead role. She plays Anne Frank. She paid a visit with us yesterday. We taped our interview, and we also had a good conversation with the director, Paul Atwood, a good friend of ours and a good friend of this program. So my conversation with Ainsley and Paul will air in the back half of the hour. It's a couple minutes after the hour. The sun's been up for a little while now. Let's take you around the valley. With our Valley View cameras, we always begin with the cross camera. It is pulled back about as far back as it can get. Sun came up at 6:36 this morning. It's going to hang around till 5:50 this afternoon. That means 11 hours and 14 minutes of daylight. We had a beautiful Monday. 59 was our official high as measured at Pangbourne Memorial Airport. That's where they measure these things at. That was just 3 degrees off the record. The record high for Monday, March 2nd, was 62 degrees, set back in 1968. So yeah, if it felt warmer than normal, it was. We've been in a very warm stretch, and we're still going to be well above normal with our temperatures. But again, the big story is going to be the wind. Details are coming up here in just a little bit. It's actually calm right now. That's going to change. Camera number 2, Megan's Choice, and she says, let's see what's happening at Oh Me, Oh My. That's Oh Me Gardens. You can see the high clouds hanging around out in the Columbia Basin. And again, gusts around 30 miles an hour out in the Moses Lake area, out of the Columbia Basin, both today and tomorrow. Any typical wind-prone area is going to see quite a bit of wind. The Wenatchee Valley, Waterville Plateau, that kind of stuff. It's going to be breezy for the next couple of days as the jet stream is right over the state of Washington. Camera number 3. We say hello to, Hose Landing? Hey, I got one right, Hose Landing. So we're looking at the beautiful hamlet of Antioch. Good morning, Antioch. How the heck are you? I haven't been up there for a while. Don't they have the kite flying thing coming up? I'll have to talk to our friends up there in Antioch, find out when that event's going on, see if I can profile that. Good morning to Antioch. By the way, we are the number 7 rated live local TV show in the greater Antioch area, trying to make it into the top 5. And camera number 4. We say hello to, oh boy, is that Valley High? Hey, it's Valley High. Megan, for some reason, I don't know, really likes that camera, which is cool. It's a neat camera. I like it. So she moved it. That's not our usual view. Usually we can see Highway 97, which of course is an offshoot of Valley High. But she moved the camera a little bit, and that's cool. It's a nice little view there of the snow-capped mountains. It is still, of course, winter and will be until, what is it? When is the solstice? The spring equinox, I should say. The spring equinox, I believe, is the 19th or the 20th. I think it's early this year. I'm not sure. Anyway, good morning to our friends at Valley High. Thanks for joining us. 4 minutes after the hour. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a big old hug. There's the van, and here's your forecast. Again, gusty winds blowing west to east is going to be all over the inland northwest today. But again, not so much for the Wenatchee Valley because we have the lee of the Cascades, which is going to buffer that wind just a little bit. Columbia Basin is where most of the winds are going to be. High today of about 55. We could get even warmer than that. Again, 59 yesterday, very mild. We could be kissing 60 again, or up near it anyway, for our afternoon high. Northwest wind today for the valley, about 8 to 10 miles an hour. The wind's going to pick up in intensity tonight. Under partly cloudy skies, will dip down to 35 with the northwest wind about 8 to 15 miles an hour. So again, it gets going a little bit. Pretty consistent winds on Wednesday. Wednesday going to be the breeziest day. Also going to usher in some cool air. As you can see, 49 degrees. Our high Wednesday, and the wind will be out of the west about right around 15 miles an hour, but we'll have gusts 25 to even 30 miles an hour. In the Wenatchee Valley, again, out of the Columbia Basin, stronger winds anticipated on Wednesday. Winds start calming down Wednesday night, overnight low of about 32, partly sunny Thursday. Mixture of clouds and sun anyway, 53. Mostly cloudy on Friday and a high of 52. And then partly cloudy Saturday, 48, which is just about normal. Lots of sunshine Sunday and Monday if the computer models hold true. So again, the story today, breezy today, downright windy Wednesday. Then we calm down, cloud up, and cool down just a little bit as we head to the weekend. That's your forecast to the mountain passes. We go, and pretty soon we won't be able to, or won't need to be doing the mountain pass reports anymore, but as long as they keep us in the loop, we'll keep you in the loop. No advisories, no restrictions on I-90. Your problem there, it's raining and you've got some standing water, so no hydroplaning on I-90. It's just kind of wet up there. No advisories, no restrictions on Snoqualmie Pass. Stevens Pass looks worse on camera than it actually is. There are no advisories or restrictions on US 2. There you go. As you can see, quite a bit of asphalt for your tires to attach themselves to. Mostly bare and dry, some patches of frost and ice in places right at the summit of Stevens Pass. Outside of that, you're fine. And Blewett Pass couldn't be much better. It's bare and dry. It's down the road you go. However, a little snow with the forecast today. We're talking 1 to 3 inches maybe today in the mountain passes. Now tonight, it's going to snow. As the system comes in, it's going to bring us some wind. It's going to bring quite a bit of moisture to the mountain passes. We're talking 4 to 8 inches of snow in the Cascades. About 4 inches of snow distinctly possible on Snoqualmie Pass, upwards of 8 inches of snow at the summit of Stevens Pass. That is tonight. An additional 1 to 3 inches of snow is expected on Wednesday, and then that's pretty much it for the snow. So watch out if you're traveling to the mountain passes tonight, especially late this afternoon into tonight. That's when you're going to have the winter driving conditions. 7 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break and come back with your Tuesday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley from Studio 1 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
The Cottage Inn has been serving quality home-cooked meals to our community, friends, and family for 80 years. Whether you prefer fresh seafood, hand-cut steaks, or one of our comfort food recipes, it's all here. Add Washington wines, craft beers, and those extra special cocktails, and you have a dining experience that has stood the test of time. Come celebrate 80 years of excellence at the Cottage Inn, serving lunch and dinner with home-cooked breakfasts available on Sundays. We look forward to seeing you.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive. No nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
And we are back at 8 minutes after the hour. We have quite a bit of sunshine at 39 degrees, a little on the breezy side today. We'll be in the mid to upper 50s for the afternoon high, downright windy on Wednesday. Then the clouds will arrive, but the winds will die down. Here's what's making headlines. A Moses Lake police officer shot and killed a 22-year-old suspect. This happened late Friday after the man reportedly opened fire, hitting the officer's canine. The unidentified canine was taken to Washington State University's veterinary clinic in Pullman, is reportedly recovering well after emergency surgery. Now, according to police, Jose L. Rivera, suspected in multiple robberies, they located his car just before 11 p.m. This was Friday on Airway Drive. He then led officers on a chase that ended several miles later on Denton Road after spike strips were deployed. Rivera then fled on foot, and the officer and the canine pursued. Police say that Rivera then pulled out a handgun, began firing. He hit the canine. The officer returned fire, killing the suspect. The police department reported that the canine was able to be taken for a walk outside on Sunday. It was to undergo a CT scan. Yesterday, the Central Basin Investigative Team is investigating the shooting. Washington Governor Jay Ainsley has declared a state of emergency over the coronavirus outbreak that's claimed the lives of 6 people in our state. Health officials are also examining whether a new case has emerged in Grant County. The Grant County Health District says it learned on Sunday of an individual showing symptoms consistent with COVID-19, which has now killed 2 people in King County. The health agency based in Moses Lake submitted a specimen from the patient to the Washington State Public Health Laboratory. It says it's expecting a result within 3 to 5 days. There have been 18 people in the state diagnosed with the virus, which originated in China and is spread throughout the globe. Now, state health agencies say 6 people have died in the past weekend from COVID-19, most of them tied to an outbreak at a Kirkland nursing home. At least 11 schools in Western Washington were closed Monday as a precautionary measure. Later on this morning, Dr. Peter Rutherford, the CEO of Confluence Health, and David Olson, the CEO of Columbia Valley Community Health, will be sitting down with our own Jefferson Robbins. We'll have more on this, the news, tonight at 5 o'clock. Well, the Wenatchee man who was institutionalized for 4 years over a mass shooting threat, he pled guilty Monday to illegally keeping a handgun. Joshua Brent Stuller, 31 years old, pled guilty in Douglas County Superior Court to second-degree unlawful possession of a firearm. He was barred by law from owning guns when he bought 2 black powder revolvers, plus gunpowder and ammunition at an East Wenatchee store last November. Now, in exchange for his plea, prosecutors will ask for a 30-day jail sentence that could be converted to home confinement. He still faces misdemeanor charges in Chelan County for allegedly stalking one of the victims in his original case. Well, almost 6 years after the largest wildfire in this state's history, a new study finds tree thinning and prescribed burn practices helped the state's forests bounce back. The Carlton Complex fire burned more than 250,000 acres back in 2014, most of it in the Methow Valley. But the study by researchers with the University of Washington and the U.S. Forest Service found those areas within the fire that had been thinned and burned proactively saw more trees survive than in other areas that were struck by the fire. Those trees, in turn, were able to spread their seeds and regrow the landscape. Researchers say the findings have implications for forest management in the era of climate change. And finally, on this Tuesday, Wenatchee Valley residents living with vulnerabilities can soon sign up for a police registry that may aid them when they're in need. It's an event that will be taking place at the Pybus Public Market on April 4th. It'll help local police and service agencies build a database of citizens with mental or physical conditions such as dementia, brain injury, or autism. If someone in the registry becomes at risk, their information can be quickly shared with emergency agencies and social services. Registration is voluntary. Again, it's April 4th at the Pybus Public Market, and it runs from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's what's making news on this Tuesday morning at 13 minutes after the hour. Going to be a busy day around the newsroom. I just have that feeling anyway. With the preview of what's going to be happening tonight with the news at 5, 6, and 10, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, I'll have a complete look at your windy and warm north central Washington weather forecast. And Eric Granstrom will be in with a preview of some of the basketball tournament games happening around the state beginning later this week. That, all the day's news and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant, for that update. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, that's all the tools that you have to get a hold of us. Email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. Go to our Facebook page, give us a big old thumbs up, and drop us a line via Messenger. Or you can go to our website at ncwlife.com. There's a Contact Us icon at the top of our homepage. Click on it, fill out the form, and we'll get it here. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Mike McNally's got an opinion. And we'll talk to the lead role and the director of The Diary of Anne Frank, which opens tomorrow night at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. It's a busy Tuesday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I am a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 6th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike. And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
And we're back at quarter after the hour. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. Let's talk sports. It's hard to believe, but in the history of Kashmir High School girls basketball, they have never won a state championship. History is within reach for the Bulldogs, though. Our very own Eric Granstrom has a 4-part series called The Chase for the Gold Ball. Here's part 1.
Haley Van Lith was an 8th grader when the Kashmir girls were bounced out of the state tournament in 2016 by Kalama. They haven't been bounced since. But the chase for the elusive gold ball has been slippery for Van Lith and her teammates. Senior Grace Erdman says it became kind of funny.
It was almost laughable to us because we're like, are you kidding me? Another year? Another year. Like the first time was 1 point, and then the second year was 2 points. We're like, so what's next year? 3 points? But it's heartbreaking, but it makes you want it. It makes you want it more. So yeah, coming into this season, last year to get it done, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for that gold ball.
Kashmir took second in 2017, losing by 1 to Mount Baker. Then they took second in 2018, losing by 2 points to Linden Christian. They lost in the semifinals to LaSalle last year and ended up taking third. So do the girls talk about it?
Well, I'd say we talk about it just because so many people talk about it to us, so we have to address it. Yeah.
Like me right now.
Yeah. So many people talk about it. So obviously we've addressed it, and we know that it's a possibility, but we know, like, we came in our freshman year, we had a perfect record, and so you're never safe. You always have to stay hungry. You always have to be on your best game because anyone that plays us is going to be on their A game. They want to beat us. So we just we need to have that more of a hungry mentality and more of a we're going to win this game.
Yeah, it definitely fuels things. It's definitely super heartbreaking, and it can be that close and be taken from you. But that just goes to show it's not easy to raise that gold ball. So that just motivates us every day and gets us working hard at practice and being competitive. Even though we're great teammates to each other off the court, we know that we can be competitive because it'll make us better.
It's crazy to think that we have an opportunity to do something that's never done before and create history in our small town of Kashmir, and I just think that's a really special opportunity, and I just want to make the most of it.
My goal is obviously to get a state championship with a bunch of girls that I've grew up with, and it's been really fun practicing, like getting prepared for it, and so that's been a goal since obviously since I was little, but it's kind of came a reality, like last year as being a freshman, and then now it's like kind of becoming more real as like we're a better team this year, and I think we have a pretty good chance. So, and just to never quite get there after we push ourselves so hard has been something that was hard for us to deal with, and I think this year it would just be overwhelming emotion, and doing it with my best friends and a coach that I'll have a friendship with for the rest of my life is something that I don't know what I'll feel. Probably a lot of tears of joy. That's all I can maybe see happening.
It's funny how the girls talk about it, but Coach Brent Darnell says he doesn't.
I know the talk is with all social media and stuff, it constantly gets brought up, but I don't spend a lot of time talking about it. Like, we never set a team goal to even win a league championship. Like, we never sit down and say, let's win league this year, or our goal is to win districts. Like, I never put those goals on us. Try to put goals on us where, rebounding goals and taking care of the ball this game and limit turnovers, and let's just try to meet these small goals every single game. Those are the ones that I really try to focus on. So, and we've been pretty good at that all year long. I mean, we've met a lot of those goals. So if it happens, great. If it doesn't, then the stars didn't line up right.
Whether it's spoken or not, the goal is to be standing on the floor of the Sun Dome Saturday night hoisting the elusive gold ball. With NCW Life Channel Sports, I'm Eric Granstrom.
Thank you very much, Eric. We will have the Kashmir girls' first game at state. We'll air it Thursday at 5:30 right here on the NCW Life Channel. We don't know who they're going to play yet. It's either going to be Annie Wright or Meridian. In addition, Eric will be down in beautiful Yakima providing live updates on our Facebook page. That's also the place to stay up to date with what's happening with the Kashmir boys. They'll take on either Omak or LaSalle Thursday in the quarterfinals at 2 o'clock. Wenatchee Wild are going to be in Vernon. In fact, they are in Vernon. They take on the Vipers, Game 3 of the BCHL playoffs. is tonight. The series is tied at the game apiece. They split, of course, last weekend at the Town Toyota Center. The puck drops tonight at the Cal Tire Place at 7 o'clock. Game 4 also in Vernon tomorrow at 7. Game 5 in Wenatchee Friday at 7:05. You can hear the game locally with our buddy R. Checker on 560 KPQ, or you can watch it on Hockey TV. Here's what we have on tap on our sports broadcast schedule. It begins tonight. We are going to re-air that great playoff basketball game between the Wildcats and the Panthers at 7 o'clock. Thursday, we'll have the Cashmere girls live in the quarterfinals of the state 1A tournament against, again, either Meridian or Annie Wright. That'll be at 5:30. At 7:30, hockey night, game 1 of the playoff series between Wenatchee and Vernon, Friday and Saturday. We don't know yet. Pending the outcomes from earlier games at the state tournament, we hope to have the Cashmere girls in the semifinals Friday night at 7, and both the boys and the girls in the championships, but we don't know yet. Keep your fingers crossed. Mariners got roughed up yesterday, by the way. They lost to Colorado in spring training action 9-6. Evan White, he had a good day at the plate. He went 2 for 3, had a double and a couple of ribbies. Jared Kellenick also had his first home run of the spring, and Justice Sheffield, he looked pretty good on the mound. He had the start. He went 3 innings. He allowed 1 run, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts. The Mariners have the day off today. Very rare in spring training before they head to Tempe tomorrow to take on the Angels. 23 more days until the start of the baseball season. Now, those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday. For the obscure holiday, I had a lot to choose from. Today is Soup It Forward Day. It's National Mulled Wine Day, but I'm working. National Cold Cuts Day. It's National Anthem Day. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But no, we're going to go with National I Want You to Be Happy Day. See happiness with other people's point of view. Put a smile on somebody else's face. It has a tendency to put a smile on your face as well. We're not individually responsible, of course, for other people's happiness. That's pretty much our own business, but we can and we do play a role in spreading good cheer and joy to others. So make somebody's day today. Compliment them on something that they do well. Do something, anything, to make other people happy. By the way, the phrase happy as a clam originates, most people believe, that clams look like they're smiling. It's not quite true. The whole phrase is happy as a clam at high water, and what that means is that clams are happy because at high water, clams have no predators, including humans. How does one know the emotions of a clam? Anyway, happy National I Want You to Be Happy Day today. Always celebrated on March 3rd because the internet told me so. Today in history, happy birthday, Florida. Yeah, Florida joined the Union. Now, this state 175 years ago, that's the Florida state flag. Florida is the 27th state and it joined the Union on March 3rd, 1845. Fun facts about Florida. Florida is the only place on the planet where crocodiles and alligators coexist. Didn't know that. Back in 1982, the Florida Keys seceded from the country. They declared themselves the Conch Republic. The mayor of Key West was Dennis Wardrow. The folks in Key West were really mad because the Border Patrol ran a roadblock and they didn't like that. And so they seceded from the Union. The mayor declared himself the prime minister. His name was Dennis Wardlow. He declared war against the United States. It lasted for just 2 minutes. Wardrow eventually surrendered after about 90 seconds, and he requested $1 million in foreign aid. Other fun facts about Florida. 9 people, on average, each year, 9 people are killed by lightning strikes in Florida. That's by far more than any other state. Florida's state song is Old Folks at Home, which makes perfect sense because Florida is the home of 70% of people over the age of 65. That makes Florida the oldest state, so to speak. About 2/3 of the population of the state of Florida were born in another state. That's the second highest in the country, only behind California. Happy birthday, Florida. 2 significant songs have an anniversary today. That's the Star Spangled Banner, and it was on this date back in 1931, March 3rd, 1931, 89 years ago today, that the Star Spangled Banner was officially adopted as the national anthem. Yeah, it wasn't until 1931. Other songs considered: Hail Columbia, My Country 'Tis of Thee, America the Beautiful. What brought this on? 2 things, both sports related: baseball and the Olympics. We didn't have a national anthem, but when you win an Olympic gold medal and they do the ceremony, they raise the flag, they play the national anthem of whoever won the gold medal, and the Olympics, called up, hey, what's your national anthem? Oh, we don't have one. Okay, well, we'll just play the Star Spangled Banner until you come up with one. So the Olympics played a role. And, of course, baseball. Baseball, starting in the 1920s, they started to play the national anthem before every game. It used to be just before important games like the World Series, and eventually it kind of just caught on. I'm a music buff. Everybody has their own thing. My thing is music, and with all due respect, the Star Spangled Banner is not a very good song. From a musical standpoint, I much prefer God Bless America, or America the Beautiful, or This Land Is Your Land, but hey, it's our national anthem, and it became that 89 years ago today. On a much different musical note, rock and roll, baby. 69 years ago today, his name is Jackie Brenson. He went into the Sun Studios, the tiny Sun Studios in Memphis, Tennessee, with Ike Turner's great band, and they laid down a track called Rocket 88, and for a lot of people, myself included, we consider that the very first rock and roll record. And if you don't believe me, just Google Rocket 88, Jackie Brenson, and strap on your seatbelt. Rock and roll, 69 years old today, as far as I'm concerned. Rocket 88, it's a great song. Played it about 5 times yesterday. Finally, March 3rd, 1991, 29 years ago today. His name is George Holliday. His name is kind of lost to history, but it was George Holliday who dug out his home camera and videotaped 4 police officers beating Rodney King. That happened on this date, March 3rd, 1991. We all know what happened. They were charged, they were acquitted, then the riots came. But the actual incident itself happened on this date 29 years ago today. And finally, at 27 minutes after the hour, 2 birthdays. Oh, it's Jeannie's birthday? Well, let's do that one first. Well, you want to do Jeannie's? Oh, there you go. Hi, Jeannie. Jeannie is the mom of the producer of this program, my teammate Megan. Happy birthday, Jeannie. She's 39 years old today. Hi, Jeannie. Happy birthday. Thanks for letting me know about that. Meanwhile, let's go back to the other celebrity birthdays. That's our local celebrity. Julie Bowen, you want to do Julie's first? She celebrates birthday number 50 today. Of course, Claire Dunphy on Modern Family. She's really good. She's got 6 Emmy nominations for playing Claire Dunphy, and she's won twice. She was in Ed, Dawson's Creek, Boston Legal, a bunch of movies. Julie Bowen celebrates a milestone today. She's 50. We got Al Bell's birthday ready for you. There you go. There's Al. Alexander Graham Bell, born in Scotland, moved to America, eventually settled in Canada, and he invented the telephone. Although he didn't have one himself. He thought the telephone was a bit of a distraction, so he never actually had a telephone in his office. He became interested in sound because, well, his mother was deaf, and Alexander Graham Bell's wife was deaf. That's what interested him in sound. Before you knew it, he invented the telephone, which I use every day. All right, going to take a break. When we come back, Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. Big surprise there. And my conversation with Ainsley Shearer, who plays the title role in The Diary of Anne Frank, and Paul Atwood, the director of The Diary of Anne Frank. It opens tomorrow night at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. Don't miss that interview. It's coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment. So my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, you know, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, you know, when you're really passionate about something, you know they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, you know, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked, like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, look, I'm basically conservative, though I vote either way, depending on the person. And I know that the Republicans aren't really doing all that great of a job, but let's face it, the Democrats, they aren't some kind of saviors either. Okay, the idea that they're going to come in and fix everything and make everything right, and some of the claims that they're making, just people don't buy it. That's people who are unaligned, you know. We're not even going to accept some of the stuff that the Democrats are throwing at us that they're going to do if they get into office. I'm sorry. Republicans may be bad. Many times they are. But you Democrats, you are not our saviors. And this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs. Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. Every spring, the Wenatchee High School Drama Department puts together a play that is a must-see for you thespian fans out there in North Central Washington. This year is no exception. It opens up Wednesday night, tomorrow night at the Wenatchee High School Auditorium. We are all familiar with the book, The Diary of Anne Frank, and that is the name of the play, as a matter of fact, as you might imagine. And playing the lead is Ainsley Shearer, who plays Anne Frank and spends the vast majority of her time on stage. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
First question, are you guys ready for Wednesday night? You're locked and loaded?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are excited to put it on.
Talk about the casting process. Paul is the director. We'll talk to Paul Atwood here in just a couple of minutes. The casting call went out. How did you end up in the title role of Anne Frank?
Well, we had auditions the first day, and they actually didn't go that long. I thought they would go longer, but they didn't. And we just read some of the scenes, and then he asked a few of us to come back the next day to read some more scenes, and then we got the cast list.
After the first day, did you go back to Mom and say, I think I may have gotten it, or I've done real good? Did you have a feeling?
I try not to assume, because then you end up getting let down most of the time. So I just waited to see what would happen.
We talked before we came on the air with Ainsley here. You're not a big book reader. You're not a big bibliophile, but this book you actually have read more than once.
I have a bad habit of when I get an assignment in class, I don't do it. Like I don't read the book.
that reliving my high school days there, Ainsley.
But I got this assignment in 8th grade, and this was the first book that I really enjoyed, that I got assigned. And so as soon as I finished it, I started over again and I read it again. And before the show, I checked it out from the library again and I read it again. And it's just good every time you read it. And yeah.
It's an interesting book in that it wasn't meant to be a book. It was never meant to be
Right.
released to the public. It was simply a diary.
Yeah.
And after it was all over, I'm not going to give you a spoiler alert, Dad found the diary and the rest is history.
Right.
What did you take out of the book?
Well, I've always been interested in that period of history. And it was interesting because when you read the book, it feels like you're not supposed to be reading it. Like, this is somebody's personal stuff. She never said it was okay for me to read this. And so it's just interesting because you know that she didn't make any of that stuff up. All that stuff was never meant to be seen by anyone.
Now, of course, the play takes place in the attic for the most part,
Right.
which in and of itself is very claustrophobic, but you get to perform this on a stage. So
Right.
what were the challenges of making it seem like you're all trapped in this 200 square foot room for years on end?
So the place that they stayed was actually 3 stories. So they had a top attic, and then they had their main room with 2 bedrooms, and then they had a lower floor with the 2 other bedrooms. So we kind of recreated that. So we have stairs that go down to 1 floor, and then a middle floor, and then another floor that goes up to the attic. So we kind of recreated it on how the house actually looked.
We got some cast photos of the cast that we're throwing up on screen there. Talk about your cast members.
Oh, they are so fun. And I have so much respect for them because of how much work they've put into it. The show is an easy one to just take the part and say, okay, this is the part I'm playing, and read the lines and do the blocking. But I'm impressed with how much each person has put in specific research into their character and have come back with interesting things about them, and we all share them with each other, and it sparked conversations between us where we just sit around and we talk about things that happened to them. And yeah.
What's it like to have a cast member, a peer of yours, play your dad? Is that kind of strange?
Well, it's funny, the boy that's playing Peter, who's Anne's boyfriend, he, in other shows before, he has played my son and my husband. So it's fun. Every show's a new relationship with the person that you're playing with. But Dane, who's playing my father, I've been friends with him since elementary school. So yeah, it's fun.
There's only 13 kids in the entire cast,
Right.
so but you have the majority of the lines. Are you kind of carrying this play, so to speak?
I don't think so. I think all of us have an important part in it, and this whole show couldn't be put on without all the characters.
A lot of dialogue. When you read the actual script of the play, how much did you realize, hey, they took this verbatim right out of the book? So did it make it easier for you that way?
A lot of it is right out of the book, but a lot of it is from the movie from the 1950s. I watched the movie, and a lot of the words were verbatim from the movie. So, but yeah, the book, a lot of her monologues that she has of her writing in her diary are from the book, with a few words tweaked, but otherwise they're from the book.
The show opens Wednesday. It runs Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, but you're going to do a special presentation of the Diary of Anne Frank for some middle school kids. They're going to be bussed in. Middle school kids are middle school kids, and this is a pretty heavy dose of reality. That might be the most difficult presentation of all the production. This could be the hardest show for you to do for the kids.
It's 8th graders, and 8th graders at this time of the year are learning about the Holocaust. So I think it's an important part for them to come see it, because instead of just reading the book, they're also watching it in person.
I hope they take something out of it.
Yeah,
I really do.
I hope so too.
Paul's going to be joining me shortly. Paul Atwood as a director, and because Paul's a high energy guy, and Paul's well known for the big shows with lots of music and choreography and singing and dancing. This is 180 degrees from that. So how's Paul's directorial style helping you out?
Paul is wonderful.
Spoiler alert, Paul is in the studio, just not on camera. Anyway.
I've learned a lot from him in this show. I've never done a show like this with him that is so much up and down, and I've never had to focus on acting this much. It's always been we focus on the singing and the dancing, and he has helped me to grow a lot in this show, and I'm really thankful for that. And he's told us a lot about, and his fun little thing is he says louder, faster, funnier, and all of us when we think of Paul, we say louder, faster, funnier. And in this show, sometimes it works, but we changed it to like slower, faster, sadder, or something like that. And so it's been fun. I've learned a lot from him in this show.
What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore, so you got a long time to figure out what it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
But do you see yourself doing auditioning for whatever plays and musicals come down the pike between now and your high school days?
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
Yes.
Yeah. And it takes, and we mentioned this before, it takes a lot of guts to go up on stage in front of a bunch of people and act or sing. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
All right, Paul's going to join me shortly. What's the first question I should ask Paul when he comes in the studio?
Who's your favorite?
I will do that. Trust me. Ainsley, break a leg. Have a good time, all right?
Thank you.
Yeah, tickets are available at the Numerica Performing Arts Center box office or numericapac.org. The director of the Diary of Anne Frank, Paul Atwood, joins me next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Experience the relaxation that a Bullfrog Spa provides. Visit Pool to Spa Services on Worthen Street, down from Pybus.
Exercise gets everybody to be the best version of themselves they can be. And that's what I see us doing. And a lot of people see gyms as selling memberships. We see ourselves as helping our members become exercise practitioners so that their life is better, their day-to-day is better. That's what we do.
And we are back on Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. The man to my immediate left needs no introduction. But I'll introduce him anyway. He's making his very first appearance on Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. Paul Atwood, my good friend. How are you?
Great. Good morning.
This is cool. This is really cool. Why this play? You do it every year. You did the drama club does a spring play every year. Why the Diary of Anne Frank?
Or we do a mini musical.
Right.
Or I have had this theory that if the high schoolers are in my program the whole 4 years, I want to do each genre. I want to do a drama. I want to do a comedy. I want to do a mini musical like this during the spring. So hopefully during their high school career they can experience those different genres of theater.
Why did you choose that particular? I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
There is.
Why the Diary of Anne Frank?
You know, the Diary of Anne Frank has always intrigued me too. Just because of the humanity and the realism. I mean, this was an actual person. These were people. And it was a Pulitzer Prize winning play when it was first produced. And I had seen bits and pieces of the play. And I did read it when I was young. And I felt like it hadn't been done for a while. I don't think it has been. Pam Cole did it, my mentor, back in like '84, I believe.
Okay.
So it's been a while. And I thought it's kind of been a kind of a resurgence of us remembering back the Holocaust and stuff.
There's some anniversaries.
Auschwitz,
yep.
They just celebrated their 75th anniversary.
Yeah.
So I thought this was a great time. And of course, when I'm searching for a play or musical, whatever, I look at my talent pool, and I knew that these young actors could pull it off.
Well, let's talk about, as we throw some of the photos up of the cast that were sent to us from Christy, talk about Ainsley in the lead role. Kind of a no-brainer there, or did you really have to chew that one up?
There were a couple choices.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate because we have very talented youth in our community. And it's because of them starting at such a young age, like with Short Shakespeareans or Stage Kids or even the dance studios and stuff. So the music programs. We're very lucky to live in a community that celebrates the arts at this level, and so I'm very fortunate. I was glad that the people that we do have showed up and tried out, and I've worked with most of them before. There's only a couple that I hadn't worked before with, and I hopefully they learned a lot and are enjoying themselves.
Did they understand the gravity of this when they signed up and they tried out? They understood this is the comedy.
Right. I don't know if they did per se. I tried to explain that a little bit during the audition process. That this is, they love doing musicals.
Yeah.
Everybody loves doing musicals. It's happy and whatever, and because a lot of them are singers in my show and play instruments, but and like I said, I want them to experience the different types of theater and not just the same old stuff every year.
Explain the shirt.
I know, isn't that something?
Yeah, explain that, please.
This is her quote. This is actually one of Anne's quotes.
Yeah, it is actually one of Anne's quotes.
Yeah.
In fact, we had that video that Christy sent me, and I like.
Don't you love that video?
I love that video.
I do too.
Yeah.
I love it because everybody brings their own different feel to it.
Yeah. In fact, let's go ahead and run that video. Paul, I'm going to ask you to use the monitor here in the studio, and for you folks at home, please use your TVs. Here it is.
How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world.
How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world.
How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world.
How wonderful it is that nobody need to wait a single moment before starting to improve the world.
How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world.
How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world.
How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world.
Good stuff, powerful stuff.
That goes without saying.
Yep, the kids are well versed. They're immersed in their characters. They know their lines. What do you want the theater goers who are going to come and watch this show? They have 5 chances to do it. What do you want the audience to take away from this?
Everybody takes away whatever they take away from it. It doesn't matter. I don't want it to be, I don't know, it's just educational. It's they're real people, and it's humanity, and we're storytellers.
Yeah,
we tell stories.
Yeah,
this one is a story that we should tell.
From a director's standpoint, you're a high energy guy. Everybody knows that. What's the challenges for you, Paul, to get the actors and the actresses locked into their characters and understand the gravitas of this? Because you're faster, funnier, quicker, whatever, and that's from a director's standpoint. Are you?
And you still bring that same energy. It's just channeled in a different way. I stress that these characters are on stage the whole time.
Yeah.
And there's only two, the Meep and Mr. Crawler that come in, that bring their supplies and stuff. But they're on stage the whole time, so they have to stay in character the whole time. Someone's always watching them from the audience. That's another thing I always stress. I said, someone's always watching you. So you have to stay in character. And hopefully that's coming across good. We had a great technical rehearsal yesterday, our tech, and there's 91 cues, which is interesting, just with the lighting and the sound effects and stuff. So, and again, we have a fantastic production team.
As always, and
I'm so lucky.
And we always want to give special kudos to the production team because they're not seen.
Right.
You know, we're talking about your set decorators and your grips and the people who make the costumes and
our producers.
Producers, they're not seen, but they're as important as the people
Mr.
on the
Wallace.
stage. Yeah, way to go, James. Good
Yeah,
friend of mine.
James.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah. You're going to do a special show for middle school kids.
Yes.
I'm sure it's going to go well. The age, when is it too young? Would you?
Well, Anne was 13.
Right. So
I think that's probably the appropriate age.
Okay.
It depends on the parent.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on your parents. I mean, if they want to come and, I mean, if they've read the book, if they've done their research already and explained to them that they're going to see some things that that might be, trigger things that are not too nice.
Yeah.
So.
Again, it opens Wednesday. It plays Wenatchee High School Auditorium Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 2 shows Saturday, a matinee and an evening show. I love asking this question. Opening night or closing night, which do you prefer, Paul?
I like them both. I like them both. I really do. And I always stress, I said, you have that excitement and you get those response, the reactions from the audience that first night, and that adrenaline, you have to keep that adrenaline every night. Every night's a different experience, theater-wise. I mean, there's different people in the audience, and they're going to take something different. They're going to laugh at something different or react to something differently. So it's always we should get better and better and better and better as we go on.
Couple more questions, and I'll cut you loose. Paul Atwood is the director of Diary of Anne Frank from the Wenatchee High School Drama Club. You're directing the Big Apple Blossom musical this year. You and your wife are co-directing. How's the Mamma Mia rehearsals going so far?
Good. Well, I haven't been this last couple of weeks. Basically,
you've been a little bit busy.
Been focusing on the music and the dancing. And we've done some great promos. We did a Special Olympics promo.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was awesome. And it's been kind of a nice thing for me to do. I mean, you're deep in this story of Anne Frank. And then after that, I go to Mamma Mia, and we're singing Elvis songs. So kind of balances out.
NumericaPack.org is the website, or you can just go to the Numerica Performing Arts Center box office. It's open regular hours. Can you buy a ticket at the gate, at the door?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And we're having student rush tickets.
Okay.
Yeah, for $5 only.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, but please go and get your tickets. This cast is really good. Really good. And I think people are going to really get something out of this.
Again, as we talked about this with Paul, I've talked about this with all the people who work in the theater here in the Wenatchee Valley, the amount of talent that we have here, and the facilities and everything. This place is a hotbed for a community theater. And yet another example, Diary of Anne Frank. Paul, be good, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say hi to the family for me, as always.
I will.
Paul Atwood making his very first appearance, by the way, on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Oh, and let Christy and Beth know I didn't get the check.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's
oh, wait.
No, you guys are a nonprofit. It's only $500 to do the show. That's only $500.
Only $500.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Welcome to another edition of Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table. Outdoorsmen have been providing fresh food for American family tables for generations. Hunting and fishing is a way of life for our family, and we enjoy cooking delicious fish and game meals.
Oh, that's awesome.
We want to share our recipes with you. This is Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table.
Watch Harrod's Cookhouse Field to Table Saturdays and Sundays at 5:30 and 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on the NCW Life channel.
Back at it, still 39 degrees under clear skies here in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's take care of some business, some housekeeping, if you will. That's from the National Weather Service. They sent that down the line not 15 minutes ago. And that's really going to be the story today, especially tomorrow. Not so much today. Today I'm going to call it breezy. It's tomorrow that I think we can safely call it windy. It's going to be gusty west winds today, tonight, especially Wednesday before it dies down Wednesday night. If you live in a typical wind-prone area, you are going to get buffered around a little bit, especially tomorrow. Going to keep a very close eye on the distinct possibility of blowing dust out in the Columbia Basin, especially in and around the Moses Lake area, because the Moses Lake has had very little precipitation over the last month or so, and so there's really nothing holding the dirt and the soil to the ground. So that's going to be a big concern for our friends out in the Columbia Basin and the Palouse, both today and especially tomorrow. It's not quite as windy as they were predicting yesterday, but still, wind is wind. So take a look at that graphic. There you go. Almost all of eastern Washington is going to be windy tonight and Wednesday. For today, most of the wind will be confined to the Columbia Basin. In fact, we're only going to have winds about 8 to 10 miles an hour. It's tonight and tomorrow when the intensity of the wind picks up as the system comes through. That is being carried in by the jet stream, which is out of position. The jet stream is right over the state of Washington, which is why it's going to be so windy. As far as the mountain passes are concerned, you're going to get a little bit of snow. Yeah, a little bit of snow. The heaviest snow for the Cascades, we're told anyway, going to be tonight into Wednesday. They're going to get a little bit of snow this afternoon, probably right around 3 or 4 o'clock is when the snow is going to start coming down. So Stevens Pass could get a couple of inches, some light snow early today, and then it's going to start coming down late in the afternoon, a couple of inches on Stevens, specifically I'm talking about, not quite so much on I-90. And then tonight, they're going to get anywhere from 4 to 8 inches, they think, for the Cascades until it tapers off on Wednesday. Then they're done with the snow for the rest of the weekend into the weekend. So be forewarned, it's going to be difficult to travel in the mountain passes, especially tonight. All right, let's take a look at that forecast in detail from the National Weather Service. Here comes the Patriot Plumbing truck. I love that truck. That's cool. So sunshine today. Again, just a little, I'm going to call it breezy. Northwest wind about 8 to 10 miles an hour most of the day today. 55 is our forecast high. We could get above that. As I mentioned at the start of the show, yesterday's high, Monday's high was 59, which was only 3 degrees off the record high for March 2nd. So this warm trend that we've been dealing with for quite some time is going to continue. Lots of sunshine, a little breezy today, high 55. Tonight, partly cloudy, 35 for the overnight low. Usually the winds die down in the evening hours. It's not going to die down. It's actually going to pick up overnight tonight. And then Wednesday, the big story is going to be the wind. Consistent west winds, about 15 miles an hour. Gusts at 20, 25, even 30 miles an hour at times here in the Wenatchee Valley. And again, if you live in a wind-prone area, all the way from Wenatchee all the way to Spokane, you could expect gusts above 30, even stronger than that, say up on the Waterville Plateau. Most of that, again, on Wednesday, going to be the windy day. Thursday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies, about 53 degrees on Thursday. By Thursday, this whole system is going to be gone. It's also going to usher in some clouds, and the temperature is going to go down a little bit, quite a bit of cloud cover, but no rain in the forecast for Friday or Saturday for that matter. We wrap up the weekend Sunday with lots of sunshine and highs back down to normal. Overnight lows just about normal as well. So that is a look at your past report and your forecast. As we speak, Jefferson Robbins is sitting in Studio 2, and he's talking to Dr. Peter Rutherford, who is the CEO of Confluence Health, and he's also talking to David Olson, who is the CEO of Columbia Valley Community Health, the two major healthcare providers here in North Central Washington. The topic, of course, is the coronavirus and how those two the healthcare providers are handling the current situation and how they're going to handle it for the next few days as this story develops. And we're going to have that conversation with Jefferson and Dr. Rutherford and David Olson on this program tomorrow and highlights tonight on the news. Have a good Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.